Hey, good morning, everybody from St. George, Utah. Yeah, we decided to bypass Vegas because they were expecting a lot of heavy winds up in Vegas when we left Williams yesterday. We were, again, going to initially try to stay in Vegas, but we decided to bypass it because they were calling for some pretty heavy winds in that area the next day, which is today. So we decided to bypass that and head up. We made it as far north as St. George, Utah. And this is just a really quick video. In fact, let me kind of pan around here a little bit. In fact, I'm not even really prepared to shoot a video. I don't even have my little selfie stick tripod to shoot, so I'm just holding the phone with my hand. But the reason why we're shooting this right now, even though we're only here just for the night, we're leaving in just about 20-30 minutes, is we want to talk a little bit about this RV park. This is the Southern Utah RV Park right off the highway here in St. George, Utah. And this is probably one of the best RV parks that we have stayed in really since Canyon Vistas in Gold Canyon. This is a brand new park. It's only been open a year. Of course, there's a helicopter flying overhead as I'm talking, so hopefully you can hear me. But we're at a little dog park. The dogs are taking care of business. But if you can look over here, the sites are huge. It's all gravel, unlike the RV KOA we were in yesterday, the Grand Canyon KOA in Williams, which was a really dusty lot. This is all gravel, no dust, no dirt. The hookups here are super easy to get into. They were probably the cleanest hookups I've ever seen. They don't have a swimming pool or a spa here, but they're talking about putting in a spa over in this way, a couple spas actually. But there's barbecues, there's places for the kids to play. It is a little close to the freeway. You can see the cars coming by, but some people like that because it's easy access, especially if you're driving a big rig like myself, where you're able to go right off the freeway. I really don't mind the truck noise, the car noise that much. It's not that bad. But again, if you're ever in the St. George area and you're looking for a good RV park to stay at, I would highly recommend Southern Utah RV, which is only about 45 minutes away from Zion National Park. I think Karen and I are going to try to hit that as part of our big mountains journey, and if we do, it's probably going to be a pretty good bet that we are, as I focus here on Jake, who's getting ready to do his business, we are probably getting ready to, yep, and there he goes. Thanks, Jake, perfect timing. But we're probably going to focus, but we're probably going to come back here as we go see Zion. That's the intent of it. Anyways, thanks a lot, and keep following with us. You ever have a bad hair day? I think I'm having a bad hair day today. Just washed my hair and I got out of the shower, and I think probably because I'm thinning on top, my hair is blowing all over the place. But good morning from Fillmore, Utah. And probably a lot of people are thinking, where the heck is Fillmore, Utah? We are kind of in central Utah, more on the western side, near, I believe it's pronounced the Uinta Mountains, mountain range. And some people may recognize this as well, but it's near the Great Basin National Park. But we came up here, we've been traveling now for about a week. We're outside of Phoenix. This is the third campground that we've stayed at, this being the Journey KOA in Fillmore. And of the three campgrounds that we've stayed at so far, that being the Grand Canyon KOA in Williams, Arizona, then the Southern Utah RV Resort in St. George, Utah, and now this KOA Journey here in Fillmore. I'm telling you, the KOA Journey here in Fillmore is the best. And if you take it in for a multitude of reasons, and I'll kind of go down real fast over the other ones, why we like this one and not and some of the other ones were a little bit further down. Starting off with this one, this is a great RV park. It's lots and lots of room. We've got our own picnic tables here, lots of grass area. It's just really a neat RV park. And one of the most important things that Karen and I found out we liked, because in comparison to one of the other RV parks, is that everything here is gravel. There's not a lot of dust or dirt around. When we were in the KOA Grand Canyon in Williams, it was so dirty. We were tracking in so much dust and dirt into Matilda. It was just getting ridiculous. But this one has all got gravel roads, gravel pull-through sites, and there's back-end sites, 50 amp. Plenty of room. We got, kind of show this around here a little bit. We've got plenty of grass areas for the dogs to run around. This is my picnic table here that I'm at. This is the scene off to the other side. Some very lush, beautiful green trees. You can see it looks like we might be getting a little bit of rain coming in here pretty soon. And we woke up to, I think, high 50-degree temperatures. It's probably mid to low 70s right now, but just incredibly pleasant. We had breakfast out here this morning. So of the three RV parks, this was the best, but it's definitely very nice. So what's on the agenda for today? So Karen and I are going to take the dogs for a hike, weather permitting, but if it sprinkles a little bit, that's totally fine. when you're coming from Phoenix, Arizona, and I think we left, it was going to be about 110 or 111 degrees outside, and you're here in central Utah, it is beautiful. The other thing I'd say is that if you are into off-road driving, if you have a Razor, if you have a Polaris, you know, a Can-Am, if you've got you know, maybe a four-wheel drive Jeep or something like that, and you're into off-roading, this apparently is the absolute place to be. There are so many ATVs around here that is almost comical. I would probably say that at least one in every 3 RVs here has got some kind of a trailer for something, some kind of an off-road vehicle. Karen and I aren't really into that right now. We might later on in our journey, but a lot of people. There goes another one behind me. But but if you're really into that, this is the place to come to. I think they really do it out in the Great Basin National Park. Anyway, so for today we're going to go round up the dogs and we're going to go for a hike. Okay, she's almost stepping the dog. We were attempting to walk the dogs.
We're excited to be out here.
We are in Fillmore. I hold my tripod out here. We are in Fillmore, Utah, which is the beginning of our big mountain. Not the beginning, but a week into our big mountain adventure on Blue Line RV Adventures. It really is fantastic. I mean, we are here in light jackets, but don't get fooled, because coming from 108 degree or 110 degree temperature where we just came from, this is a welcome relief.
Yes, the dogs are enjoying it a ton. Lots of new sniffs. So it's all good.
Anyway, so we're going to continue on our walk here. And a little windy. But we're going to continue on our walk and see what we find. Okay, so Karen, where are we at?
We were at the first seat.
Territorial capital.
Well, first capital of the newly identified state, or newly, what does that mean?
The newest state admitted into the Union.
Right.
How'd you like that for an explanation?
When Utah was first admitted to the United States as a state, Fillmore was its first seat.
And in fact, the name Fillmore, I'm not sure what the original name was, but I know that the town is called Fillmore because
Of Leonard Fillmore. Is it Leonard?
Millard Fillmore. Now, I do have to admit, I had to look that up because I thought it was Leonard also, but I had to look it up. It's Millard Fillmore. But they changed the town. I don't know what it was originally. Maybe they'll tell us what it was here if I read this. But they changed the town. See, Millard Fillmore. They changed it to Fillmore to get in basically good graces with the President of the United States, because Utah wanted to become a state. So they said, oh, hey, we want to become a state. And not only that, Mr. President, but we've named our capital after you. Well, apparently it worked because Utah did become a state. Anyways, we are here.
Well, shortly thereafter, the capital was moved to Salt Lake City.
How did you know that? Oh, because did you maybe read it right there?
It's not on there.
Go ahead.
No,
so they moved into Salt Lake City.
Because they had more population there.
And you're 100% sure that Salt Lake is now the capital, correct? I think Salt Lake, I'm gonna have to put this in a subtitle. I think Salt Lake is the capital of Utah. But anyways, it is very beautiful grounds here. There's a guy here doing some landscaping or taking care of the park grounds. He's super super friendly. And we're gonna, the entrance, although we're walking to the opposite way, but we're gonna go inside and see what we can see. So after after walking around the building, we've now found the entrance. So we had a question. So if I understand it right, Fillmore was named during this trying to become statehood after Millard Fillmore, the president, right?
Yep.
What was the name prior to that?
Deseret Territory.
Deseret Territory, and they changed. Okay, okay, great.
And the government took their, they didn't want Brigham Young to have that big of a piece of property. They didn't want him over that much.
Right.
And from what I understand, the government didn't like Brigham Young and thought that he, had too much power.
Right. And again, we're not from Utah. We're actually from Arizona. Was Brigham Young the first governor, or
I think he was of this of territory, and
the
he was
territory.
also the president of the church.
Oh.
Which that it didn't mix,
Right.
church and state.
Church and state separate? Gotcha. So this is a painting, I guess we might call this a painting, a mural painting, of some of the Native American Indians that were here when the Mormon pioneer settlers were coming here. And I noticed this, there is a swastika on one of the teepees.
Yes, it indicates that one of the most controversial of Native American designs is the swastika. While the swastika immediately brings to mind Nazi Germany, it is not only a native southwestern design, it can be called a native design almost anywhere in the world. It is the result of basket weaving where the ends of a simple cross designed are turned either to the right or left.
Okay, really neat little museum. I learned all sorts of stuff about the state of Utah that I did not know. In fact, the entire territory used to be called, how do you pronounce that again? Deseret? Deseret. It used to be pronounced Deseret, which actually came from the Book of Mormon. And the territory originally at some points was massive. I mean, it went as far west as San Diego and Los Angeles. And in fact, when the Mormons wanted to make Utah into a state, they wanted it to just massively huge, almost 1/6 of the United States. And then Washington, D.C. had other plans. They said, no, you're not going to be quite that big. Then we learned about the beehive. And a little slippery, be careful.
Yes. There it is.
How is it? Is it?
Yep, it's like a
Really? Yeah, it was like a warm bath. Cool. We're here at Meadow Springs Natural Hot Springs, and there's 3 of them here, and we are about 25 minutes outside of Fillmore. And there's 3 different springs here. This is probably the medium spring, I guess. The hotter spring was a little bit more crowded, so we're gonna try that in a few more minutes. But this is kind of pleasant, like a warm bath. Another family over here. And you can tell by the clouds in the distance in the background, that's kind of stormy and rainy, but it's actually very pleasant. Anyway, so yeah, about 25 minutes outside of Fillmore. First hot springs I think I've ever been in that are natural. I've been in some that are form a swimming pool, but this is pretty nice. So I could see the steam come off the water earlier. So yeah, it's probably about, how cold do you think it is? Temperature, air temperature.
I want to say air temperature, it's probably 55.
Yeah, 55.
Yeah.
Water temperature is probably 80?
Yeah, it's like a really warm bath.
Yeah, about 80. But yeah, you see some steam coming off over here, but the weather's actually not very friendly, cooperating. You can see the clouds in the background. But like we were saying, this is the first of 3 natural hot springs they have here, and this is probably the middle temperature. Like I said, there was a hotter one down there, but it's pretty crowded. We're gonna try to go down there earlier, but there's a lot of people, and there's a pretty big drop off here. These aren't like bottomless pits that go down hundreds of feet. I think the deepest one is about 30 feet. That's what our research found. I'm not sure if this is the one that goes 30 feet, but there's a pretty big drop off right over here that goes straight down. So. Anyways, we'll get some more later. Cracked my head on this. Cracked my head on this wall right here. So of course, one of the other husbands decided that he was going to swim to the bottom of the spring, 22 feet down, and pick up a rock and bring it back to his wife. So after saying this, what do you think I had to do?
Let me have your glasses.
Glasses. To boldly go where no man has gone before, or at least this man.
Dramatic.
Okay, that was natural hot spring number 1. Now we're walking over to natural hot spring number 2. Karen is wrapped up in a towel because it's freezing out here, and I'm gonna tough it out because I'm actually gonna get in the other hot spring. It was crowded last time we were there, but it's also warmer. And as you can tell by looking at the horizon here, it is definitely stormy out. And for early June, it is dang cold.
Because it's cold out?
Yes, it is. It's a bit nipply out. I mean nippy out. What did I say? Nipple? There is a nip in the air, though.
Can I take something out for you?
It's probably low 50s, mid 50s right now, without exaggeration. And when you're from Phoenix, Arizona, and we left 108-degree temperature, not quite used to this. But I'm loving full-time RVing, I promise. Let's see if this one's any warmer. Oh yeah. Oh, so much warmer. Oh. 20 degrees warmer, easy. So much hotter. Hi.
See how far down it goes.
You made yourself a friend. Yeah, this is the hottest one, and so much hotter. It's like a hot bathtub.
Oh, it's not too deep.
As you can tell, the road leading directly to the springs is full of potholes. I mean, there are some regular sedans in there, but I wouldn't go through here with anything less than a pickup truck and probably even a 4x4. But that's just me. This is the main parking lot here. And the whole overall, the springs were kind of crowded. And when I was watching some previous YouTube videos, they didn't look that crowded, but they were kind of crowded today. And then sure enough, we met a guy. There's a couple more people coming, a couple more cars. But we met a guy who comes here a lot, and he said he's never seen it this crowded. So, of course, our timing is impeccable, as apparently we're on one of the more crowded days of the month. But you can camp here, as you see that motor trailer with slide outs going, a generator. Yeah, free camping. Okay, we're back in the Jeep with the heater going.
Worse for wear.
A little worse for wear. But yeah, this is my first hot springs I've ever been in my life that was not channeled into a swimming pool. We were at that one in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, where it's natural hot springs, but it kind of feeds into a swimming pool. So basically it's like swimming in a swimming pool. This is the first one that I was ever in. For the first experience, it was good. The rocks were a little slimy. I didn't think there was gonna be that much algae there. The rocks were a little slimy. And it was a little bit crowded, but someone had said on the way out that he was walking in it, he'd never seen a parking lot this crowded before. What's I was looking at you? I like looking at her. Anyways, what do you think?
No, it was a fun experience. Definitely something out of
Now I'm gonna look in the camera. No.
out of the ordinary.
Here.
This
Go
is
ahead.
definitely something out of the ordinary. There, you're cutting yourself off.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Go ahead.
You did.
This is gonna end up in the bloopers. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it was beautiful. It's a beautiful country.
Gorgeous.
It was just frigid, and it was the water was warm. It felt like a warm bath.
Yeah.
The second pool was like a hot bath.
Yeah. So yeah, Karen didn't get in that one. I did, but that was the more crowded one. But it was definitely like a hot bath.
Yeah, I'm not getting in. I was wet. I'm not getting because I know what it feels like to get out because it's freezing. Now I'm thawing out in front of the heaters. I'm very happy.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, what I recommend coming here. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't very. If you're in the Fillmore area, it wasn't very far. Just a few minute drive. It's free of charge. There's a donation box, you know, and you should, because this is private property, and the owner, by his own graces, allows people to come here. He could certainly fence everything off and not allow anyone to come here, but he allows people to come here, and you can even camp. There's a trailer right in front of us with a generator going to slide out, and so it's almost like a boondocking location, but. Yeah, I would definitely recommend coming here again. We were here for like, I don't know, about an hour. How long do you think we've been here?
An hour.
And it was
Just make sure that you come in, when you do come in, you know, whatever you pack in, you pack out.
Yes.
Because it is private property, and I think he allows people to come in to his property because it's out of his generosity, and let's not take any kind of abuse for that.
Exactly. It was a few little things laying around there, but not too many, so just try to clean up after yourselves. One other thing I also might recommend is that you bring some kind of like a diving shoe or something. Some of the rocks, especially in the first the medium temperature hot spring.
Warm spring.
Not the hot spring, the warm spring. Some of the rocks were a little sharp. There was a little area that was kind of like gravel, like sand, which is great, but some of the other areas are kind of sharp. So I would definitely
just
bring.
rural and natural, so it's not meant for. I don't think it was ever meant for people to actually go in it. I mean, it's not man-made. So
Yeah, definitely not man-made. I mean, you might want to bring some kind of a tough, sturdy shoe or something like that, so you don't hurt your toes. I have sensitive feet. And I'm hungry.
You need to do that comment that I made.
What did you say? I'm gonna play it back and hear it.
We should go.
I'm hungry. Big mountains journey, and if we do, it's probably going to be that. There he goes. Thanks, Jake. Perfect timing.